Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Terrifying Tuesday, and on Terrifying Tuesday we talk about all things horror, and today is our non-spoiler review of the horror movie Thanksgiving. So let's jump right into it. Today we have to talk about this slasher film Thanksgiving that came out this year. It is a pretty solid film. As slasher films go, it's okay. It definitely has an 80s vibe to it, or an early 90s vibe. You get this sort of nostalgic feeling watching it, which is pretty good considering that the movie came from the Grindhouse movie being a fake trailer in itself. And Eli Roth set it up in that movie, in the Grindhouse movies, to be a fake trailer. What we get in this movie is that fake trailer come to fruition as a full-fledged movie. And it does have that same sort of feel. It does feel a bit more modernized. Of course, you have to realize how many years have passed since the Grindhouse movies came out. It's not like Machete, where a few months later, or a few years later, you actually did get a legit Machete movie. This is completely different. We've been waiting for this movie for a long time as fans of the Grindhouse movies. So even if you aren't a horror fan, you are probably in that ballpark that saw this movie as a trailer and have always wondered what it would have been like if this movie had actually come out. Well, the movie came out, and it is kind of what it is. It does have that nostalgic late 80s, early 90s vibe to the slasher film itself. And there are a lot of really gory kills in the film. The movie takes place on Thanksgiving in Plymouth, Massachusetts. It opens up in 2022 during a Black Friday sale, where Jessica Wright, whose father Thomas owns the store, lets her friends in, thus starting a riot. Now, a year later, somebody comes along with a mask that is the John Carver mask, who is apparently the founder of the town, John Carver, one of the very first pilgrims, and they start stalking these kids. And everyone that was involved within this riot. So obviously right there, you know you have the motive that they are stalking people that were involved with this riot. And that kind of puts that in perspective. After that, you just have a straight-on slasher film that has a lot of gory moments and has a lot of moments that are worth watching. The movie does a pretty good job at keeping your interest, although I won't say it's the best movie of all time. The movie is sort of predictable at times where you kind of go, maybe I know too much. But it does maintain its mystery all the way through. So it does have a mysterious element as to who did it. And if that's something that interests you, a little bit of mystery in your horror films, this is for you. I personally always like not knowing who the killer is as much as I like knowing who the killer is. I don't mind knowing that it's Jason Voorhees who comes in and kills everybody every Friday the 13th. I don't mind knowing the identity of Freddy Krueger and who he was in life. I don't mind knowing Michael Myers as the slasher in Halloween. John Carver, we don't know who this is. So it creates a bit of that old Friday the 13th Part 1 vibes. The original Friday the 13th film, you didn't know who the killer was. And then you were surprised at the end. This one does it a little better because the character that is the killer is throughout the film. And that's something that oftentimes helps. If you've ever seen Friday the 13th, you know that the killer in the Friday the 13th film wasn't necessarily around during the entire film. And even even though the reveal was a shock, it always felt kind of disingenuous at the same time, though the film is a classic, so we don't question it. This movie aims to do for Thanksgiving what Halloween did for Halloween. And in that regard, it might kind of succeed. I don't know that they do a sequel to this movie at all, but only time will tell. Being that it is an Eli Roth film, and Eli Roth isn't necessarily known for doing a whole lot of movies that have sequels, although he did have a few movies that he's done throughout the years that have gotten sequels, so who knows? Would he be involved if there is one? And what would the quality of the second film be? This could start a franchise of movies, and the question is how? The movie tries its best, and it delivers on the gore, and it delivers on a lot of the scary moments as they come along. There are times when you really do get those Halloween vibes, with the killer just sort of stalking people from across the street or from down a hallway. You get these vibes like it is sort of this mysterious killer that might have some sort of supernatural abilities at times, although you know better from the very beginning of this movie. You kind of know this is a revenge plot. And that's a good thing too, because nothing is scarier than the idea of someone coming after you for revenge against something that you didn't even know you did. And that is sort of the premise of this movie. They don't know why this person is coming after them. And it makes these kids a little more sympathetic than some of the kids in other horror movies. So I really did enjoy that. Overall, the movie delivers on the gore, it delivers on the suspense, and while it is not the greatest slasher film of all time, I'm going to definitely recommend you watch this, and if you get a chance to see it before Thanksgiving Day, by all means, go watch this movie. But I want to know what you guys think. As always, we want to know what you guys think, so make sure you're leaving us that comment in the comment box below, letting us know what you think. Don't forget to share this video with all of your friends so they can be a part of the conversation as well. Remember to hit that like button as hard as you can. It helps the channel, and it's free, and we appreciate it. Miko says we need more subscribers, and you don't want to disappoint Miko, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell while you're down there so you don't miss a single video we do. Then friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it. Fandom is family.